Samuel.
Maxwell?
Roles reversed here. I went first. Really weird. Didn't like it.
You didn't like it. Do you want me to...
No.
I can come in here if you want.
I've got to face my fears, Sam. I've got to step up to the plate sometimes.
It's like me and outros.
Yeah.
We don't get along.
Yeah, and that's okay.
We've got some legends of the emo world.
Some big names, some big numbers here, Sam.
I can make it on my own.
It's like we're there in the room with them once again. We have JT and Matt from Hawthorne Heights joining us. We chatted with them backstage at the Brightside before their show just a couple of days ago.
Yeah, ahead of their last Lonely World Tour show in Australia.
Mm-hmm.
It was a good chat. I feel like a lot of people that listen to this show grew up listening to Hawthorne Heights. Songs like Highs for Lovers, This Is Who We Are, Nicky FM. So many unbelievable emo bangers that were the sort of doorway into heavier things. It was a really cool chat. You never know what you're going to get with these sort of legacy bands, whether they're going to be just so sick of doing press. But they were really funny.
They were.
JT was quite dry. He loved making eye contact with you.
I'd stop it.
I don't think he looked at me the whole time.
And that's okay.
Which is fine.
You're intimidating.
He was playing hard to get and it worked.
We were flirting across the way.
I've been sending him DMs ever since.
I think this was a super insightful chat because, as you said, like they've been on the scene for at least 20 years. They were here doing 20 years of If Only You Were Lonely.
Yep.
And I think the lessons that they've learned about themselves as a band, but also the scene along the way, really interesting, and how they kind of package them up and what that means for what's coming next. So, Sam, I think you might kick this one off. So I want to throw over to you.
Maxwell, here on their last Australian show of the Lonely World Tour, we are joined by JT and Matt of Hawthorne Heights. Lads, welcome to the show.
Thanks. We're stoked, man.
You've adjusted to the climate now? There's no sort of signs of jet lag or anything like that? You're all acclimatized?
No, I feel pretty good.
I think I still have jet lag. I'm waking up at like 6 a.m. I don't wake up like that. So. But maybe I'm just awake. I don't know.
Maybe.
I feel slept.
Maybe
So
you've
I'm
become
waking up weird times.
a morning person.
I'm not. It's not
Brisbane's
that.
the earliest rising city in the world. Like,
Nice.
we're all freaks who love getting up early. Not me. I'm not good at that. But apparently everyone else is. So, you know.
Nice.
Well, today I was, so yes.
There you go.
Can confirm.
Well, before we dive into 20 years of If Only You Were Lonely, we always start by getting an idea of what's spinning in your playlists lately.
Man.
JT, I'll let you go first.
I universally listen to nothing when I'm on the tour.
Okay.
And it's mainly because we're listening to music like from sound check until when we're done.
Right.
So, you know, like when we're on the flight or anything like that, like I'm just staring off into space. Every once in a while, you know, like I'll put a podcast on or something like that. And it does not mean that I don't listen to music. Just when we're on the road, I don't yearn for it as much because I get it for 5 hours a night.
Yeah.
Matt's probably listening.
Yeah, I listen to stuff.
Actively listening more than me.
About twice a year I go through a Beatles phase. I'm currently in one.
Okay. Where in the phase are we? Have we made it to like Sgt. Pepper's yet, or?
No, I listen to it all, but currently, I've always liked the White Album.
Yep.
I'm currently like listening to it and going, "Is this the heaviest shit on earth?" Like I'm in that kind
Just
of
Helter
phase.
Skelter on repeat.
Yeah. I'm like trying to convince myself that they invented Black Sabbath. I'm doing this whole thing. And then yesterday on the flight, I was ripping Justin Bieber, and then we hit horrible turbulence.
Nice.
I think it was horrible. And so I went to Gregorian chants just to get my mind off of it. So I've gone all over. I'm in Psychoville when it comes to
And
the
see,
playlist.
that's kind of the thing is he likes to live his life in Panic with a soundtrack. And I'm like staring out into space with just the circadian rhythm happening.
Yeah.
Like the music can affect what's going on in the turbulence. And like me, I'm just like staring there and it shakes and rattles a little bit. And,
Well, he has the ability to fall asleep on flights, and I have the ability to sit there. So
True.
it helps.
It
This helps.
does help.
and follow me with this. Understimulated, overstimulated.
Stimulated.
Yeah.
So, if I'm listening to something, if I'm watching something, if I'm ripping zins in my lips, nothing. I'm doing nothing, so therefore I am shutting down. And I can do nothing, and I can
Yep.
sleep. And then when I'm up, I'm ready to go.
Fair enough. This is a dark question, but say you found out the plane was going down. Like, would you go one last song, just to one last song to get in there, or are you just like, no, this is it. I'm happy.
Plane crash soundtrack.
Yeah.
That's where we're at.
I've done this before. I have one. So I love a band called Afghan Wigs. I love their record Black Love. We had a plane years and years ago where it was lightning.
Oh shit!
Like you're in lightning, and I went, all right, we're ripping Black Love. Here we go. We're dead.
If we go down, we
yeah,
go down.
We're gonna go down. This is one of my favorite records. We're dead.
I'm probably going down to like God Only Knows by the Beach Boys.
Oh, fantastic.
Something or.
You're going to reminisce. I'm going to imagine I'm not doing this.
The Sound of Silence by Simon and Garfunkel.
That feels very cinematic.
Something really dark.
Yeah.
I'm succumbing.
Yeah, you're like one tear down the cheek.
Yeah.
Standing up, walking to the front of the plane.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah.
I'm singing in my head, pretending it's not happening.
Yeah.
He's trying to take the flight to Coachella. I'm trying to remember my entire life.
Yeah, you're leaning into the sweet embrace of death. Enjoy it.
Well, as Sam mentioned, you guys are on the 20th anniversary tour of If Only You Were Lonely. And, this is the final show on the Australian leg of the tour, at least. So far, how's the tour been? How have the Australian crowds been treating you? You've been getting the best response out of them, that you could for the tour, or?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the tour, I don't want to say it's surprising because we've been a band for a long time, and this album specifically has struck a chord with multiple generations at this point. And people have been coming, they've been singing along. We were here maybe 2 years ago with Anne Boleyn, but just playing like a greatest hits set. This is the time for us to headline, choose the album, and then we'll play 4 or 5 songs as an encore that we've chosen. And it's been really awesome. It's the cool thing about it is we're traveling like really punk rock. We have nothing with
Flights
us.
every day?
No music on the plane?
Flights every day?
We do have flights every day.
Different kind of punk rock.
Somewhere in between extreme rock star bullshit and we only have 7 outfits with us each carried in a backpack.
When we land, we're punk rock.
Yeah. But, no production, nothing like that. We're really just kind of up there ripping these songs like it's 2006 again. And it's, it's fun. It's liberating. We don't have anything that we're worried about. We're just connecting with the crowd. And, so these are some of our favorite cities in the world. Great people, great food, great locations, everything's coastal. Takes an hour and 10 minutes to fly there. It's great. We got no complaints.
I think we're playing, to my knowledge, he remembers stuff, I forget everything. I think this is the best we've ever done headlining in Australia.
Yeah,
I think
these are
23 years in. I mean, that's
other than our first time
awesome.
here, which it was 20 years ago in 2006, for this album cycle. We're doing as good as we've done in the past, 15 years or something like that.
Wow.
And it's been great to see.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's been great to see. And, we are seeing younger generations showing up to these shows that should have no business listening to us. And they're finding this album and they're finding these songs. And that's kind of what it takes to have a band with longevity. So it's been wonderful to see.
Well, I was going to talk on the new audiences because we spoke to Sayosin last week and they're finding a similar thing, obviously, with their transition into this new sort of COVID era. They said that as much as people love their self-titled album, they're finding they're talking to a lot of new audiences and new faces. And even just walking into the venue, there were some young girls lining up, obviously, for the VIP as well. So, I mean, you guys are still releasing new music. How do you find the balance between, making sure your new music is speaking to those sort of rusted on fans from back in the day, but also, speaking to a new generation who might not know of Hawthorne Heights yet?
Yeah, I think that's one of those things lasting 20 years is kind of time tested. So I'm always trying to at least write the lyrics from the point of view of things that are happening around me at that exact time.
Yep.
It might not be me specifically, it might be, but it's always somebody directly connected to me. I don't write in general speaking very much. And I think that's kind of one of the things that lures people in because very specific topics that I'm singing about that people connect with because they're like very normal things. And I try to take them down roads that I'm going down myself, which I believe has some sort of impact one way or another. And that's just how I've always written my lyrics. I've always written from my point of view about something happening catastrophically in my life. And, you know, you're definitely writing through devices and stuff like that. So sometimes, like, you're exaggerating. Like, my life's not all bad, you know. But when you're writing a song, you know, like, we're not at the Pink Pony Club having a great time. You know, this is emo music.
Yeah.
We're writing ourselves through challenges and problems and real-life situations and stuff like that. And I think that is ageless. I think that, you know, young people go through that now more than ever. And I think that people of all ages up until our age and, you know, our parents and stuff like that, everybody goes through periods of dark times. And you listen to music for that reason. And it really depends on, you know, what soundtrack you're choosing. Sound of Silence, Justin Bieber. So it really all depends.
Yeah, and also like a younger person, they might see us as like, I don't know, if you see a video of Warped Tour 2005, nobody has their phones out. Nope.
Yeah.
It's like just a different world completely. And I do think that at this point, it sounds amazing. I mean, I would love to go back for a day and see what my brain was doing without a cell phone. So if somebody sees that world, it's a different world than we live in now.
Yeah.
But then they can connect with that because it is real, and all those people are not on their phones and they're not filming it. They're just like in the moment, and then they can get on their phone. They pull up our whole catalog and they listen to all of it, any of it. I mean, we have shows with 17-year-olds singing track 8 off the 3rd album, and it's like not even our fans know that one from back in the day.
Real deep cuts.
They don't like see singles because they didn't see a single come out on TV. They just see the album.
They're looking at a 20-year introspective, and they make the rules.
Yeah.
They're not like listening to the singles that we push out to them. They're listening to
they're connecting with the song they connect with.
Exactly. They're just going down a list and they're falling in love with stuff that you never thought they would fall in love with, and you know, they might start at Ohio's for Lovers, but they're digging way deeper than that. and that's awesome.
Yeah.
You know, that's exactly why you can continue to have a career.
Like, I feel like the people from 2004 are very like the Emo Forever playlist, and I feel like younger people are the ones that ripping full albums. Like they're just. I just get that. I don't have any evidence for that. I just think it's happening.
I think it's scientific, if anything.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
It's interesting. Like, you know, you're here for the album tour, and as you said, you're playing the all the way through, and then, you know, 4 or 5 other hits that you're selecting to kind of be as that encore. When you're pulling together a set list that is, we've got the album to play, and then, you know, you have to compress everything else in the discography into 4 or 5 songs.
Yeah.
Do you ever think, you know, there's going to be one kid in the crowd who wants track 8 of album 3, or is it just, it's all greatest hits? Like, what kind of is that set up for you guys?
It's all across the board. And we do always keep a couple in our hip pocket. And if somebody asks for it, you know, like we've done that on this tour. We've taken songs off of it, and then somebody will ask us at VIP, can you please play this song? And if we can play it, we will.
Yeah, right.
Because we don't know when we're going to see them again, but we know that they've had the courage to ask the band themselves, can I please hear this song? If you can do it, you need to do it, because you can change somebody's life in that moment. Some things we can't play because we're just not prepared to, but the things that we can, you know, like we want to make them happy, and you know, maybe they're going through a tough time and that song helps them, and it's like, all right, we'll play this one for you tonight.
But we do, I bet you, I mean, I would say half the crowd, 60% of the crowd, it's the first time they've ever seen us. And that's worldwide, everywhere. So you have to give those people the show.
Yeah.
You can't, like, we do something for the people that come every time. We'll try to play a couple weird ones. But the most of it just has to be for those people that have never seen it. They bought a ticket. They want to hear what they want to hear. And we have to play it.
For the set list, even though you're playing If Only You Were Lonely, I saw Nicky FM is in there. I saw Ohio's for Lovers in there.
Yep.
Is it just muscle memory by the time you guys are playing those ones?
I mean, to a degree, those songs are like burnt into our head.
But we've changed Nicky FM for this tour. We've added stuff to it. So we
Okay.
added parts,
Change it up for yourselves as well?
Yeah.
which makes it fresh, which is fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes,
We added to Ohio too. We added stuff in that.
yeah,
too.
so sometimes they do become like living organisms a little bit, but the core principles, you know, like it'll be like when you chop the head off a snake, it still moves.
Yep.
Yeah.
For like that will
You've
be
done
us.
that? You've done that?
That'll be us when we die. Like we can still in our grave we'll be able to play Ohio's. First.
People are walking through the
For
graveyard
sure.
going, hold on a minute.
Yes.
To be fair, it is 3 notes. It's not like we're brilliant.
But yeah, you just gotta grip it and rip it sometimes, you know.
Grip it and rip it. There's your episode headline right there.
As well as all the hits and the albums, you guys are still pumping out incredible new music. Like a Cardinal dropped last month, and it feels like a very nice evolution of the Hawthorne Heights sound. Talk us through kind of while you're here revisiting a classic album, what it's like to have that moment of looking forward as what the material you wanted the material to become as you move into the next phase.
Yeah, I mean, I think one of the reasons that we continue to do this is we've never really been like trend chasers or anything like that. When we started the band, there were very few bands singing and screaming in the way that we were doing it melodically at that time period. Obviously,
Especially where we lived. There's like,
yeah, and the internet was not what it is now. So you couldn't just be like, dude, I like singing and screaming. I could Google that now. I'd come up with every band that's ever done it.
Yeah.
And that's awesome.
Yeah.
But back then, you like had to discover bands, and there just wasn't that many of us doing it. And all the music scenes in America are entirely different. So our ethos has always been, like we're a melodic band. We are slightly heavy. And we have just, like the icing of screaming on the cupcake. And like I always, jokingly, I always say that we're either your girlfriend's favorite hardcore band or your sister's first screaming band. Or we're just for the dudes at the same time. You know what I mean? Like, because Ohio's for Lovers was such a big moment that like it went from like people like a small little music scene singing it to like football players singing
Yeah.
and that's how big the music scene got. And I just think that like as long as we continue to be ourselves, all these fans are going to ride with us.
Yeah.
To a degree. Because we don't chase trends. We can't make ourselves 25 years younger. That would be nice.
If you find out the secret,
But we can maintain the exact credibility of who we are, and I think that that's one of our strong suits, is no matter what, we've maintained being Hawthorne Heights.
Yeah.
And that's kind of the whole point. So even a song like a Cardinal, you have heavy moments, you have a breakdown, you have harmonized guitars, you have a catchy chorus, and they all should not work together, but they do. And that is what we do. We find a way to have tender moments and to have heavy moments, and we do it all without detuning our guitars.
Which is actually a bigger flex than
I was
you're
gonna
giving
say.
that credit for.
Yeah, we've never been like kind of on that thing, and it would probably make my voice sound like a chipmunk. It already sounds high.
I have a theory that if we detuned, he would sing higher.
Yeah,
Like,
Okay.
it would be a disaster, I think.
yeah.
The only way we could do it is write it regular, then detune everything and
end.
say that's your new part.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It'd be, and because you would just go as high as possible.
Yeah.
So
Fair enough.
any new album, Hawthorne Heights, drop A tuning.
Yeah,
like-
You never know. But at the same time, if something is cool, we're going to do it. So if somebody, I mean, I'll drop them down just to get out of my comfort zone.
Yep.
If it sounds good, we're going to do it, and we'll figure out how to do it later. we did this thing at the beginning of the band where we don't do anything because how will we do it live? If something's good, it's getting released.
Yeah, you'll figure it out.
later.
Yeah,
Yeah,
100%.
different time period now.
Yeah.
Back then, like you were worried about everything. Now you're like, we're gonna write a song and play a song however we want to do it.
And the fans, it sounds like the fans are following you, which is great. Like, as long as, for them, if it sounds good, that's all that matters.
Exactly, and that's the liberating moment as a musician is, the trust that they have in us. That's the best part of it.
Well, along with Like a Cardinal, is it safe to assume that there could be some new Hawthorne Heights music coming? Could we?
Yeah, we have new songs recorded. We'll release them at our leisure, whenever we want to.
Look,
which is also liberating. We
Yeah.
don't have anybody telling us what we have to do. When we're ready, we have a whole year of touring planned. And when we're ready to chuck another one in the set list, or release another song.
Do it when it suits.
Yeah. So they're there, but we're also continually writing more songs. And it's been fun.
We know that there's no detuned guitars by the sounds of it, but can you tell us anything about the music sonically that's in the can? Is there more to let us in on apart from if it sounds good, it's going out?
Well, we have 4 songs, and they all sound kind of different, but they all sound like Hawthorne Heights. So, I don't want to say every era of Hawthorne Heights is represented, but there's the weirdness of the things that we do, and then there's the very standard things that we do. There's fast stuff, there's heavy stuff, and then there's really weird and introspective stuff. And that's kind of what we have to figure out. What goes where? When do we release each song and stuff like that? So
We do have something a lot of bands, they might have them, but he has a signature voice for our band. So if we do anything and then he sings on it, it kind of sounds like our band.
Sounds like Hawthorne.
So we kind of get some leeway musically with that, I think. Now, I don't know if we always take advantage of that leeway or go to extremes, but we do. We like to keep energy up. There's just a couple of things we like to do because we don't want to make something boring or
and we're a live band. We're not a radio band. We're not writing for the next big single. We're writing for the next song that connects with our fans live so we can get it into the set list and build it around all the classics that we've released. So
there's bad things about the internet. That one's a good thing. We have a lot of people that used to you hoped your album would get on the radio or whatever, a song gets on the radio and then reaches whoever it reaches, and then you hope they come or whatever. Now it's you release whatever, you can tell exactly the people that like you've released it, and then they like it. So you already have access to the exact people that already like you. I'm not saying things shouldn't grow and do what they need to do, but it is nice to be hey, everybody that likes us, here's this thing we made. It's really nice to be able to do that.
yeah.
Well, that brings us to the end of the interview. So, Aussie fans, unfortunately, you've missed Hawthorne Heights. They're out, they're gone. If you're in Asia, Europe, or the US, make sure you get to the If Only You'll Only World Tour 20th anniversary. Matt, JT, thank you so much for coming and having a chat to us today. And looking forward to new music.
Thank you.
Awesome.
We'll be coming. We're going to be back.
Yeah,
So if you missed it, we'll see you next time.
Yeah, the show's sold out in advance. We gotta upgrade them a little bit and come back more often. So,
We'd like to hear that.
Yeah.
The fans will love that.
Heck yeah, we love it here. It's
Thanks so
awesome.
much, guys.
Thank
you.